combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live. And we're here with another episode of JimmyRants.com is the website if you want to join us on this Jimmy Rants. So go check us out there, you guys, and you'll see how the show works. We first start off on Instagram, so go follow me on Instagram. I'm at Living Low Carb Man if you want to follow me there on Instagram. So definitely go follow at Living Low Carb Man. So that's LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And then once you're there, you can engage live in the content, just like all these beautiful people are right now that are coming in. If you missed the live, you can actually watch the replay for up to 24 hours. And never fear, though, if it does disappear from Instagram, we pop it onto YouTube for you so you can see all the past episodes. And then finally, we have a Best of the Best Jimmy Rants podcast over on Apple Podcasts. JimmyRants.com, you guys, is links to all of this stuff. Today's Jimmy Rants is gonna be a rant and a half. So I hope you're ready for full-on Jimmy Rants mode, because this is something that is unacceptable to me, okay? So get ready, here we go. Because I've been online for a very long time, and I've written books, and I have podcasts, and do Jimmy Rants and other such things, there are certain people who think they have instant access to me. And so I get lots of emails from people all over the world, and to the tune of hundreds of emails a day. And I got to the point where it was so overwhelming with so many that were coming in, I ended up getting behind in my emails. So I hired a lady to help me out. She knows my work really well. She gives people some great links back that deal with the questions they're asking about. She's awesome. If you ever email me and you interact with Jess, Jess is amazing. I'm really happy to have her on my team. But Jess has to deal with some of the weird people out there. And I get some people that will write me. There's one lady that can write me upwards of 10 times a day. Literally 10 times a day. Okay? And then I've got other people who are not very tactful when they write. And I want to share one such example with you here today. So this Jimmy Rants is about how I don't owe anybody anything. I do, though, give you a lot of information. If you write to me, I'm trying to help you as best as I can. But I don't owe anybody anything. And you'll find out why that statement's important here in a minute when I start showing you this example. And then the other thing that this is about is how not to email someone. And so today, or the last couple of days, I've been getting a series of emails from one particular person. I will keep this person's name private for their protection because this is unacceptable. She was writing to me saying she followed my journey, read several of my books. She's noticed I've regained weight, which I've talked a whole lot about over the past few years. She says, I haven't heard you talk about it. Well, lady, if you are a fan of Jimmy Moore, then you would know that's pretty much all I have talked about in the past few years. And wondered what happened. I see you're quite active in the keto community and you're continuing to write books. I understand regaining weight is not a subject most of us like to talk about. You're right. I don't like talking about it in the context of the judgmental people that are out there. I just had a podcast yesterday with Elle Russ on the Live and La Vida Low Carb show where we talked about some of the negative nannies and people making comments about and judgment about me because of my weight. So I'm not hiding from the issue. And so it's kind of like the elephant in the keto room. No, there's no elephant in the keto room. I've addressed this quite well. I think many of us could learn from your experience and perhaps prevent this from happening to us. Well, lady, if you would follow my work, you would know that's exactly what I've been doing. Exactly. In fact, right now, I'm in the midst of day 4 of doing a keto carnivore experiment to try to deal with said problem. Okay? So let me continue. We're all in this together. I think so many of us would benefit of knowing why you are where you are today. I only wish you the best, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Jess attempted to respond to this lady and explained that I'm putting the focus on my health markers, that it's really not just about the weight, and that I focus in on the health because at the end of the day, that's what matters. So she writes back, I understand your comment about Jimmy doing this for improved health and mental benefits, but how can you do keto for an extended period of time, regain a lot of weight, that you're morbidly obese again, which that's hilarious to me, and still believe you're healthy? Obesity, by the very definition of it, is not healthy. All right, we need to address something, lady. You can have weight on your body and have incredible metabolic health markers, just as someone can have no weight on their body and have incredible metabolic derangement. So we've got to get out of this mentality that weight is health and health is weight, because they don't always correlate. And yet this lady's making that correlation. I hope if Jimmy's working too hard in order to try and help those in the keto community, that he'd take time off for himself. Knowledgeable and valuable member of the keto community. I remember watching his videos. He was so happy with his weight loss and his health gains. Regaining weight is every person's nightmare that has been obese or overweight. Do I look unhappy on these Jimmy Rants, you guys? She's making the comment that, well, you were so happy years ago. I'm happy today. Whatever my weight is does not predicate my happiness or not happiness. So it's just funny to me. So she writes back again after Jess responds and notes to her that stress and things are things that Jimmy's working on. Be kind. She came back again. So she came back. She found a couple of the Jimmy Rants where I talked about weight. And she said, what I've seen so far, Jimmy addresses, what I've not seen Jimmy address is whether he attributes the weight gain to specific issues by themselves, or whether these issues led him to eat off plan and now he's off plan, or he's overeating on keto foods. That's the core of my question. This is such a no-brainer that a significant weight gain would have to include eating off plan or overeating keto. I don't hear Jimmy saying one way or the other. So I'm trying to understand whether the things that you've identified can cause substantial weight gain, even if we don't eat off plan or overeat keto. So you see where she's starting to get a little pushy and demanding. And it's at that point, I was like, lady, we really don't owe you any explanation. Okay? And I get this kind of stuff quite a bit. This lady was especially aggressive with the multiple emails. I'm still going through the emails. Multiple emails demanding we answer her questions. And so at that point, Jess writes back again, gives a few more links. And she said, Jess, my assistant, told her, well, obesity usually is accompanied by other chronic health conditions, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease. But Jimmy has none of that. So just having the fat alone, while it might be uncomfortable, is not actually anything wrong. So she once again writes back. This is a lady that doesn't know how to let go. And I'm only giving her as the example. If you're just joining us, I'm talking about how I don't know anybody anything. When you write to me, I don't have to respond. I do respond, and I have a lady, Jess, that helps me respond and gives great answers. She's very professional, represents me very well. But this is how not to email someone, and especially someone who puts himself out there. And number one, she's not paying me any money. So I could understand if she was paying me to consult her, blah, 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 she'd be demanding answers. I'm getting nothing for that. Let me continue. She writes back again. After I had responded to her and gave her a few things about I haven't quit keto and I wouldn't, although she insinuated it. My health markers depend on it continuing for life. Weight is an interesting marker, but it's not a no-brainer. The things that she brought up, you should be more kind and compassionate is what I told her. That's what I'm about right now when people are talking about diet and weight loss. I speak very openly about this to help those who feel that something they are doing is wrong. It's really not as simple as the things that she stated. And finally, I am going away for 6 months in a row because she said, well, if he's that stressed, he just needs to take time off. I am. 2020, July through December of 2020, I am going away, like offline, no books, no writing, no Jimmy rants, no nothing for 6 months in 2020 from July until December. So I am taking measures to deal with that. And again, like I said earlier, I am working on things that would help to bring body weight down. The latest one being the keto carnivore experiment, which I'm in day 4 of. Then she responds, so I don't understand why you can't answer my questions. They really boil down to the following. I need a simple yes or a no, and that'll suffice. Number 1, do you overeat keto at times now? Number 2, did you ever overeat keto at times when you were regaining the weight? Number 3, do you eat non-keto food now? Number 4, did you ever eat non-keto foods at times when you gained the weight? I've read several of your books. I am enjoying the one you did with Dr. Fung right now. And I've had all of your books and enjoyed all of them and learned a lot from you. I thank you for that. I'm retired now and on a limited income. And so I do the best I can when I can. I do watch keto-related YouTube videos. I hope she watches this one because I'm sending it directly to her. And I read people's blogs, but I confess, I read a lot of books. My doctor told me to stop sitting so much, spending time on the computer. So I'm trying to heed his advice, blah, blah, blah. I want to go on your low-carb cruise someday. That's not feasible. I get seasick, yada, yada, yada. So the effuse praise at the end of this demanding that I answer these 4 questions was pretty funny, actually, to me. So Jess writes back again, and we're almost done. She has one more email after this. So Jess writes back one more time. And she took offense that I was so flippant in writing a response to her that was pretty quick. And Jess explains, Jimmy's on a book deadline right now. I'm finishing up Keto Clarity Cookbook. The manuscript is due this weekend, so I've been working hard trying to get that one done. So I didn't have time to give a long answer that she might have wanted. So she explained that. She said, I'm afraid it's not as simple as yes or no to all your questions. Did he eat more calories than he burned? He would have had to. That's basic thermogenesis. However, the more important question is, why did his body store the energy instead of burning it? You're trying to determine if calories in, calories out is valid. Our bodies aren't really a mathematical equation. Blah, blah, blah. She goes on to explain some of the biochemistry and metabolic pathway of fat storage. And then she said, if you want to hear Jimmy's opinion on a lot of these things, go follow his Jimmy rants. He's talking a lot about a lot of these things on a daily basis. And you guys know, you're here twice a day watching me do rants. Now, this is a rant today, you guys, because this is unacceptable. All right. Finally, she writes back one last time. And at this point, I told Jess, stop engaging with this person. We probably should have stopped engaging 3 emails ago. But this is the final straw. My questions were really simple. What are all the factors that contribute to weight gain when you're on a ketogenic diet? Lady, if we knew the answer to that question, we would be calling the NIH right now and funding a study that says, get all of these things under control, put people on keto, and let's see what happens. Because if we knew verifiably all the factors that were involved in weight gain that happens when you eat a ketogenic diet, then we would be fixing those things. The problem is you got a lot of moving parts, from stress to sleep to hormonal imbalances to degrees of insulin resistance to lifestyle factors, to non-diet, non-food things are huge in this equation. So for you to be so arrogant to say, tell us all the factors that contribute to weight gain when you're on keto, I don't got time for you, lady. And I don't owe you any explanation or anything. I hate to be blunt about that, but I am. Because this was abuse today when we got all these emails. I'm especially disappointed, as Jimmy stated in his email, that he is probably the most transparent person in the health community and will continue to be. I did say that to her. Yet there is zero transparency when it comes to my specific questions that I asked about food. My decision not to answer them speaks volumes, be that as it may. So she didn't like that I didn't answer her questions. Correction, I did answer her questions. I just didn't answer them in the way she wanted to hear. I did give an answer, though. Just because it wasn't the answer she wanted to hear doesn't mean she didn't get an answer. My question was not about weight loss. I want to know what the factors are to contribute to weight gain. I think food and food volume has to be a part of it. She said it was the only thing earlier, but now she's saying a part of it. To what degree, I don't know. I agree it's not the whole story. I can imagine or can't imagine it's not a factor at all. Nobody's saying that the food being consumed is not a factor at all. What we're saying is there's other factors involved in addition to the food. Additionally, your suggestions that I'm really asking other questions, like if Jimmy's eating donuts or something, or that I'm trying to determine anything about calories in, calories out, are so disappointing to me. Well, lady, you're being very accusatory by asking demanding questions. So that's why Jess said those things. I'm doing neither. I don't even believe in calories in, calories out. She has to believe in calories in, calories out to be so demanding of these questions. I believe it's a lot more complicated than that. Well, lady, if you believe calories in, calories out is complicated, and it's a lot more sophisticated than that when it comes to weight gain in people, even on a ketogenic diet, why are you asking the questions? Questions, quite frankly, that I don't think even some researchers or some medical doctors in this community can give you a verifiable answer of all the things that are involved. I'm so disappointed and saddened I can't get a straight answer. I thank you for your time and appreciate that Jimmy took time out of his schedule today. Well, lady, I did more than that. You just got Jimmy rantsed. Because that is unacceptable. You do not write to me demanding that I answer specific questions. And then when you get an answer, but it's not the answer you want, you pitch a hissy fit. You'll know you're messing with, lady. I'm very strong-willed. People that Christine will tell you, I'm very strong-willed. Don't try to bowl me over. I'm a big boy still, yes. And I will stand up for myself and do it all day, every day. So the bottom line in this Jimmy rants, I don't know an explanation to anybody. If you email me and you demand that I write back, I guarantee you if you write to Dr. Jason Fung and you demand he answer your questions about fasting, delete. I guarantee you if you write to Dr. Ken Berry and you're demanding of something about he said on one of his YouTube videos, delete. I give you the time of day. I write you back. I've got a wonderful lady that will engage in you, giving you links to all my work. So consider yourself lucky, lady, that you got any response at all, because I didn't owe you anything, and I still don't owe you an answer to your cockamamie questions. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. I'm fired up. I had something else in mind to talk about, but then I got that chain of emails and had to bring this up with you guys here. I know it's a little off the beaten path of what I normally talk about, but thanks for being here. Jesse says, full on Jimmy rant mode. Bring it. Bring it. Let's see. My friend, weight gain is not an issue. So Steph knows that this is, and Steph, there's two things going on in this Jimmy rants. I'm addressing people don't get owed an answer, but I'm also addressing this kind of thing, and I always do address this. That's the funny thing about this person is they act like I've never talked about the weight gain thing. I think I talk about weight gain and some of the theories behind why it happens on a ketogenic diet probably more than anybody in the health community does. So I'm not understanding that. But yes, you're right. Weight gain is not an issue. Health markers do matter. Now, weight is a health marker, but it's not the health marker, which I've talked about before. My wife, Christine, is on here. She said this lady doesn't want me writing her back. It's people like this I wish I could ship off to another island and let them go after each other. See, you guys think you guys think Christine is this sweet little mild-mannered beauty, and she is. She will bite your head off if you mess with her man. So Jesse says, I hope I'm not a guilty party. I ask you questions sometimes, but you're so nice, or because you're so nice. Don't be so nice and I won't ask questions. No, don't misunderstand me, Jesse. I love hearing from people who have questions for me. What I don't love is people that are demanding with their questions that I answer their questions. And if I don't answer them and answer them to their satisfaction, they're writing me back 5, 6 more times. That is what's wrong. Now, there's some people that are like, well, Jimmy's so busy, I don't want to email him at all. I'm giving you permission. Please do email me if you have questions. I'm on these Jimmy rants every single day. So I know you got questions that follow up. So if you can't leave a comment, if you're not on live, or if you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment down there and I'll be happy to answer the questions, and I do. Or you can email me anytime. I get a lot of emails, livinglowcarbman@charter.net. So the emailing is not an issue. It's the demanding and the continuing to email me multiple times a day that is the issue. Steph says weight equals health. Go check out Health at Every Size studies. Yeah, there's a lot out there for sure, Steph. If you're just joining us, we did all a rant today about a series of emails that I got from a lady where she was demanding that I give her an explanation and answer all her meticulous questions all about all the various reasons why I gained weight on keto so that we could help other people, pretending like I don't do that already, by the way. And she wrote me back multiple times demanding. And so this Jimmy Rants is about how I don't owe you anything, lady. I really don't. And that this is how not to email me. Cicely says there are unhealthy thin people. Exactly. Bonnie says, you not only look happy, but you look healthy and not overweight. Geez, I am very happy. I can't come on. You can't fake it twice a day coming on Jimmy Rants. I couldn't fake it. Christine will tell you this is the way I am all the time. When I'm at home, I'm a goofball. I'm cracking jokes. I'm happy. I'm smiling. Haven't had carbohydrates in 4 days on this carnivore diet. I am super duper dippity happy. See what I did there? Jess is a saint. I would have not been so patient, says Nancy. Well, Jess is a saint, and she certainly, she takes a lot of the stuff from me, so I don't see it. But I happened to see this lady because she just kept being persistent. And when I see a certain tone in an email, I always say, okay, that's enough. That's enough. We don't need to engage these people anymore. If she doesn't know how to talk right, and see, this is the other thing. Sometimes people, they were never told by anybody that they were being too aggressive. They've never had somebody stand up to them. Lady, you just got standed up to today. Jimmy Moore going to call you out. And you got a whole video all about you today. Congratulations. Beautiful binge eater, take time off. Why would you take time off from doing the very thing you need to be doing? She doesn't know when to stop with all the responses. She really doesn't know your life. No, she does not. Christine says, if we knew why things were happening, we'd be doing said solutions. Duh. You were more than happy and gracious when we met recently. Yes, I met the Select Savory Seasonings guys. They came to my house, gave them some of my chicken eggs, showed their kids my chickens. And he gave me a whole bunch of these great seasonings, which I'm telling you about from time to time on my Instagram. Yeah, I try to be accommodating for literally anybody that wants to meet me, who wants to email me, literally any contact. If you guys are on here, I try to answer all the questions that come in live. So it's not like I'm being standoffish. Trust me, I bet you I'm more accessible in the keto community than most people that you've tried to write to. And I used to, back in the day, have a reputation of responding to any inquiry somebody had within an hour. That was my reputation. Now, it became too overwhelming after the success of Keto Clarity and everything took off. It became too overwhelming at that point for me to answer within an hour. But that used to be my MO. My Low Carb Path, hey Kat, says, oh Jimmy, this lady's actions are totally inappropriate and unacceptable. It's one reason I wanted to call her out here today, because I wanted other people that might think that that's okay to know that this is not okay. She needs to get a life, says Cicely. AZGO111 says, send her all of our carbs. I mean, the lady sounds like she's trying to do keto and low carb and fasting and all the right things, but it was just her arrogant tone that I couldn't get past. It was just amazing. Joshua says, I personally appreciate your responses, whether it comes from you or Jess. You're right, you don't know any of us any answer to emails, but we do appreciate it, or at least I do. Yeah, and I give you the time of day. If you take the time out of your schedule, I have made it my commitment that I will respond to emails. Now, if somebody's a turd ball, you're going to get blocked, and I don't want to see from you again. If somebody writes questions and they're a little bit aggressive in the tone the first time, then I will respond in kindness, give them links, and try to help them out despite their aggressive tone. But then if they're done, then great, that's it. But if they come back again and go, well, you're not answering my question, like this lady did, then that's when it's shut down. You're not owed anything. You really aren't. She's what we call the keto police. Well, no, she's worse than the keto police, because the keto police, at least they're out in the open. She's like coming at me full barrel shotgun full of accusations, because she's making a lot of assumptions there as well. Well, you must be overeating. You must be eating off plan. Nobody in their right mind would ever gain weight if they just ate blah, 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 blah. And so that was the thing. Late as always. It's okay, Alberto. You're here, brother. Thanks for being here. Too much attention to devote entire rant to her. Well, again, it's not really about her specifically. It was more about people that would think that those kinds of things are okay. And I'm not even just talking about writing to me. I'm talking about writing to anybody in the keto world. If you write this kind of a thing to my friend Keto Karma Suzanne, shame on you. If you write this to the Keto Connect guys, Matt and Mega, shame on you. If you write this to Dr. Jason Fung or Dr. Ken Berry or Dr. Eric Westman, shame on you. So that's why I'm doing this rant today, because it's so much more than about her, and it's so much more than about me. It's about all of us and how we should be doing things when we write emails to people, and that at the end of the day, none of us in the leadership position in keto owe anybody anything. We choose to give you answers. We choose to help, but we don't owe you that. Hey Joel, Jimmy, awesome sauce more. Joel's a good friend of mine. He's helping me out behind the scenes too with some of the social media stuff. So he knows, he sees some of this stuff. That lady needs to get a life. How about take time and energy and work on her own health and life? And that's the other thing. She's doing a lot of things in the low carb, fasting, keto kind of space and trying to figure things out. Wants to come on the low carb cruise. So it's not like she's not, but it's like, why be so? And I know in her mind, here's how she has rationalized it. I'm just trying to find answers, because if you go keto, everybody knows that that's just magical weight loss for everybody. So therefore, if keto is the answer to weight loss, how can somebody that's a keto guru out there like Jimmy Moore be gaining weight, eating a ketogenic diet? I need to know what the answers are so we can help more people. As if we haven't figured that out yet, lady. That's what I'm doing in my work. It's why I'm doing all the biohacking that I do. It's why I continually stay in the game, and in the midst of working on those issues, I continue to teach. So I assume this lady would rather me shut up and go away as opposed to continuing to learn and go through the process of learning, figuring things out, and then sharing along the way. I choose the latter right now. Thank you for all you do. That's a big giant lot, says Jesse. Yes. The world just revolves around her. It does seem that way. She was not requesting answers to learn. She was pushing her opinion that was disguised as questions. Alberto, you might be right. And again, this person might be a very sweet lady in real life, but she became a keyboard warrior and she was just a typing away. And I guess because she's retired or whatever and she has more time on her hands, she thought, well, that's not what I wanted to hear. Let me write again. Oh, no. They wrote again, and that's what I didn't want to hear that. Let me write again and be a little more forceful. And especially when she got to the one where she listed off, okay, these are the 4 questions, and I just need a simple yes or a no to all these questions. And it was like, lady, no. That's how not to do it. How not to email somebody. I'm just so saddened by the amount of judgment you get on a daily basis when all you're trying to do is help people. Unbelievable. Kat, welcome to my world, darling. And I come on these Jimmy rants because it is a release for me to be able to share more information. And today it let me call her out. And again, it's not just about her, but people of her ilk and other people that would want to do this, not just to me, but to really anybody in this community. What a ding dong, says Life in Pix 50. I would know if Jimmy was eating donuts. I can tell you he's not. So people saying he's sitting around eating donuts just needs to shut up. Like I said, don't mess with Christine, Queen Bee. She will bite you in the butt and then sting you and then laugh in your face. Thank you, my booch. I love you too. Appreciate that. Keto has improved Jimmy 1,000-fold, says my friend Joel. Joel remembers when I was over 400 pounds. We used to work with him back when I lived in Virginia Beach. We used to work with him, and I was 400 plus pounds when I knew Joel. And so Joel knows when I was really sick, and I was a lot younger than I am now. And today I got a few more grays in the beard, but I'm so much more vibrant and healthy because of keto. Bye-bye, lady. Jimmy, Christine, Jess, keep up the good work and positive message, says Jesse. You could have given her the perfect answer and it wouldn't have been enough. She obviously has problems. Gina, exactly right. And I could have even given her yes, no's to all those things. She would have then came back and said, well, if yes to the overeating when you weren't eating, she would have just continued on. So there's no sense in playing her game. Homie, don't play that stuff anyway. I owe her nothing. Dr. Joe 413, you're the best. We love you. Don't let one sour egg spoil the dozen. No, this is not spoiling the dozen for me. It is more of a sounding board for me to say to other people that might be watching this, that follow me, that think it's okay to demand I answer questions. No, it's not. It's not. And don't do this to my friends in the keto world. A lot of you guys don't realize behind the scenes, a lot of us get a lot of ugly, ugly stuff on a daily basis. Not just me, it's a lot of us in the keto world. And one thing that you could do is if you write to us, share encouragement, share how the work has changed your life. Again, not just about me, but other people in the community. Tell Suzanne from Keto Karma what she's meant to you. Tell Leanne Vogel, The Healthful Pursuit, how she has helped you change your life. Tell Matt and Mega from Keto Connect. Tell Dr. Barry. Tell all these people, and I'm insulting a lot of my friends because I didn't name their names, but you know who the people are in the keto world that influence you. Tell them. Show love to them. Show kindness and compassion and encouragement. I am going to push that message so hard until I'm out of breath. Because at the end of the day, that's how you treat other people, and that's the decorum that you do when you write emails to people. And then I want you to write emails to people with no expectation of ever hearing anything. And sometimes people will write in an email, when they write to me, they'll say, oh, I don't really expect an answer or an answer for a while. And then when they get one that same day, they're so surprised. And that's my jam. That's what we do. Demand that you make sure you continue to be cool. Thank you, Russ. I will. I can tell you Jimmy does respond to his messages, says Alberto. Yeah, if you write me on Instagram, I personally go in there and I respond to any questions that come in. Sometimes people have questions that are off topic for me on these Jimmy rants, like somebody was just asking about how the carnivore is going. You can write to me on an Instagram message, and I will personally write you back and give you answers. How easy is that, right? You and Christine been so sweet to answer my emails. I have been so encouraged to step out of my comfort zone. Bless you both. Thank you, Keto Meemaw. I get these too, says Dory. Welcome, Dory. Dory is out there as well doing a lot of great work. They give me demands about recipes, and I'm like you, I don't get paid, right? So, yeah, and that's another thing. An ancillary to this is, like, I'll post some food picture on my Instagram, and people will immediately write in the comment section, recipe question. And I'm like, not every food picture has a recipe that goes with it. Interestingly, with me doing carnivore, nobody's asking for recipes because it's like sausage, hamburger, smoked sausages. So you don't need a recipe when you're eating just meat, but it is fascinating. Finally get to see you live. Hello, Sue B. Thanks for being here. I'm wanting to start keto again. Well, write to me a message, and I can help you with any questions, but just don't be a turd ball like this lady I talked about earlier, and you'll get your questions answered. I remember you well when you were over 400 pounds, says Joel. Got winded just walking in the warehouse where we worked. Your health and energy is through the roof now. Yep. And I'm 20 years older. You answered me in a hurry, says Sue B. I tried to. We appreciate you. Thank you, Randy. She was so specific, I have to wonder if she was someone like a spy trying to report to someone else. Bonnie, that stuff happens all the time, and I don't worry myself about it, but I'm sure it's possible that could be something that's going on. So the thing is, I get those things so frequently, that kind of thing, probably once or twice a week, that aggressive, that I don't even think about it anymore. So Stanton approach, what exactly happened? Go back and watch the replay. But I got a really horrible series of emails from this lady that was demanding me to explain why and how I could possibly gain weight on a ketogenic diet. That's not possible. You're lying to people, blah, blah, blah. So go watch the replay. My daughter would say, don't be a carb. Her favorite new retort, because carb is a bad thing. Can't they just be thankful for all the info you do provide? Because you do a lot. Yeah, I provide probably more content than anybody in the keto world. Between Nutritional Pearls podcast, Live and La Vida Low Carb Show, Keto Talk, Keto Hacking MD, and Jimmy Rants alone, that's content that's every single day. And on Jimmy Rants, I'm doing twice a day at least videos here on Instagram that I post on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know what more I could do to put myself out there that this lady and other people like her could get the answers that they want. And I literally don't know what she's asking anymore. And I don't care what she's asking now. You and your work saved my life. I told you that before. Thank you, Kat. Hopefully I'm thankful, says Kitty Cat. Kat, you are here every single day on my Jimmy Rant, so yes, you're one of the good guys. All right, my husband is gaining weight on keto. Write to me, Regina. Write to me. Send me a message through Instagram or email me, and any of you, I'm going to open this up to all you guys here on Instagram. You're watching on the replay on YouTube. You can write me an email. livinlowcarbman@charter.net. That's LIVINLOWCARBMAN @charter.net. And if you write to me, either me or Jess will respond to you. Well, I'm still on a book deadline, so it's probably going to be Jess if you write in the next couple of days. But we will answer your questions if you have sincere questions about fasting or cholesterol or keto or any of the things that I talk about. Okay, so if you ask a simple question, you will get answers and we'll get links to things where I've talked about it. Trust me, as long as I've been online, if it's a topic in the world of health, I have addressed it in some shape, form, or fashion, in audio form or video form. So you will get links. But if you're demanding that I should answer questions, and if I don't answer it in the way you like it, you're going to write me back 6 times, that's going to stop. And to that lady, I hope she watches this video. That's unacceptable. I won't be abused. And that's abuse. Okay? Thank you again for the books. All the people I gave them to are reporting positively. Excellent, Dr. Joe. Thank you for that. So, guys, that's it for this Jimmy Rants. That's what I wanted to share today, that I don't owe anybody anything and an explanation. And don't email like that. Okay? You got that? And as Dory is writing down there, ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time for that. I'm also writing books in the midst of doing all those podcasts. So, yes, I really don't have time for all that. When the comment's slow, I feel like I need to comment again so you don't stop talking. Well, I'm going to stop talking now, Jess, because I need to go. So jimmyrants.com is the website, you guys. And as always, it starts off on Instagram. So if you're not watching this on Instagram and you're not watching me live on Instagram, go follow me there at Livin' Low Carb Man. That's LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And if you miss it live, you can watch the replay for up to 24 hours on Instagram. But if you don't like Instagram, or you missed me for some reason on Instagram, pop on over to YouTube. That's where we put all of the archive videos, 130-something videos and counting so far, you guys. So go check them out over on YouTube. Just type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants, and you will find the shows. And then finally, we have a best of the best moments of the Jimmy Rants on a Jimmy Rants podcast, and it's available on Apple Podcasts. Go leave us a review there, you guys. We got about 10 reviews, 4 of them written. I need a few more written reviews. If you would be so kind to write me a written review on Apple Podcasts. JimmyRants.com, you guys, is the website for all of that. So until next time, we'll see you then.